Today, we're talking about a counterintuitive idea. What if your constant pursuit of happiness is actually making you unhappy? Sounds strange, right? But there's solid science behind it. So let's get into it, along with some strategies to consider. Now let's start with something fascinating. Research shows that when people place too much importance on happiness, they often end up feeling less happy. Why? Because constantly measuring your happiness level creates pressure and anxiety. Studies from Yale and other institutions reveal that the more we chase happiness as a goal, the more likely we are to feel disappointed and dissatisfied. It's like grabbing sand. The tighter you hold, the more it slips through your fingers. Another reason is something called the hedonic treadmill. It's the phenomenon where even after something good happens, like a promotion or a new relationship, a vacation, our happiness returns to a baseline. We adapt and the thrill fades. The truth is, our idea of what constitutes happiness constantly changes. So we're chasing something that we'll never catch up to. But so if chasing it doesn't work, what's the alternative? Instead of making happiness the goal, what if you focused on living a meaningful and fulfilling life? This idea comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. The idea is to focus on what matters to you, your values, your purpose, instead of just chasing positive emotions. Happiness then becomes a byproduct, not the destination. Think of it like planting a garden. If you're constantly checking to see if the flowers are blooming, you're going to be disappointed. But if you focus on nurturing the soil, taking care of the plants, the flowers eventually bloom on their own. So how can we put this into practice? There's a technique called value-based living. So instead of asking, what will make me happy, ask, what's truly meaningful to me? So here's how it works. First, identify your values. What do you care about most in life? Relationships, creativity, personal growth, helping others. Set goals aligned with those values. These goals are about living by your values, not just feeling good. And be in tune with and accepting of your emotions. Whether it's joy, sadness, frustration, allow yourself to feel it. The goal is not to avoid negative emotions, but to allow them to be part of your journey. So instead of chasing happiness, you're building a life that feels rich and meaningful, regardless of what emotions come your way. Another interesting concept is the idea of relative happiness versus constant bliss. Many of us have this false image that happiness is about being in a state of constant joy, euphoria. But in reality, happiness is often about our own definition of fulfillment and peace, something that can change based on our values, experiences, and personal growth. Relative happiness is the idea that your happiness is not an endless state of pleasure, but rather a sense of well-being and contentment that comes from living in alignment with what matters to you. It's the ability to experience joy, yes, but also to find peace during challenging or painful times. This is why two people in the exact same situation can feel entirely different. One person might feel fulfilled by working long hours if it aligns with their passion, while another person feels miserable doing the same thing. Happiness is relative. depends on how closely your life matches your personal definition of fulfillment. Understanding this helps us realize that constantly chasing the feeling of happiness can be exhausting and counterproductive. So instead, redefining happiness as a broader sense of contentment and purpose can be much more sustainable. Interestingly, philosophers and spiritual traditions have been saying this for centuries. The Stoics believed that trying to control your emotions is futile. Instead, focus on what you can control, your actions, and how you respond to life's challenges. Buddhism also teaches that clinging to pleasure and trying to avoid pain only creates more suffering. Instead, acceptance and mindfulness are the keys to peace. Viktor Frankl, creator of logotherapy and survivor of the horrors of the Holocaust, said that happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. His perspective was that happiness often emerges when we are fully engaged in something meaningful. So how do you shift from chasing happiness to finding fulfillment? Here are a few practical tips. Practice non-striving. Take moments throughout your day where you allow yourself to just be, without trying to feel any particular way. Focus on meaningful activities. Spend more time doing what aligns with you and your values, whether that's creativity, connection, or learning. Something like meditation can help. So instead of trying to force yourself to feel good, allow yourself to feel whatever comes up, without judgment. And take time to regularly reflect on what truly matters to you and how you're living according to those values. This could be through contemplation, it could be by writing down your thoughts in a journal. The irony is, when you stop trying to force happiness, you often find it in the most unexpected places. So what if you stopped trying to be happy and instead focused on what truly matters to you? Chances are you'd find more peace, meaning, and yes, even happiness. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking ideas on living a fulfilling life. And let me know in the comments, what's something you're doing for meaning, not just happiness?